All right, mic test. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That looks pretty good. Say hi to everybody out there watching right now. Heck. Okay. So let me check a couple things here real quick.
I figured you could take it later.
So I'll turn your Skype down. That way, if you guys talk, you won't be going out over the webcast. So we've actually got a stream going out right now. And Kathy, if you'll turn record on when we start in about 9 minutes on Ustream. Okay. Okay. Okay.
There's nothing different, right?
Yeah. No, nothing different. Okay, so I think I got the pictures and everything in here in the order. Let's see. Let me turn my mic off.
Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. W.C. Handy, won't you look down over me? Yeah, I got a first class ticket, but I'm as blue as a boy can be. Then I'm walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off a beam. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? Saw the ghost of Elvis on Union Avenue. Followed him up to the gates of Graceland, and I watched him walk right through. Now security, they did not see him. They just hovered around his tomb. There's a pretty little thing waiting for the king down in the jungle room. When I was walking in Memphis, I was walking with my feet 10 feet off a beam. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? They've got catfish on the table. They've got gospel in the air. Reverend Green, be glad to see you when you haven't got a prayer. But boy, you got a prayer in Memphis. Muriel plays piano every Friday at the Hollywood, and they brought me down to see her, and they asked me if I would do a little number, and I sang with all my might. She said, tell me, are you a Christian child? And I said, ma'am, I am tonight. Walking in Memphis, was walking with my feet 10 feet off a beam. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? Walking in Memphis, I was walking with my feet 10 feet off a beam. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way
All right, all right. Boy, I got to keep my eyes on this chat room. My producer was asleep over there. It's not time to start. We got about 3 minutes. But anyway, guys, just a couple quick announcements. If you're on, if you came to W5KB tonight, you're going to see the video looks just a little bit different. Our main video room, video server is YouTube now, YouTube Live. The neat thing about that is you can grab the little slider at the bottom and you can move it back and forth. If you miss something in a show, you can move that slider back up to 45 minutes and watch part of the show that you missed, and then you can go back forward. So that's one of the benefits. Now, you know, we have several people that always complain that, hey, it's buffering and they can't get the show and they're fed up with it and they're leaving. Well, I'm sorry. We've tried to do everything we can for everybody. The interesting thing is when they tell us that they're getting buffering and they've got this great high-speed network, other people tell us they're getting it fine and it hadn't dropped out one time. So it's very difficult for us to fix something. We think it's out on the internet somewhere. It may be between our old video provider, Ustream, sending back to you guys, maybe different routing or something. So starting today, we have Ustream as our backup video server. YouTube Live is our primary video server. Now, if you have problems with this video server, there's a button under the video called Backup Video Server. Click on that, and it will take you to the other video feed, and you can watch it. Don't click on Room 2. Room 2 is like Channel 3 on your television. It's another channel that we have. So be sure to click on Backup Server if you want to go to the same show. You can get it there. Also, just one quick thing. They say they can slide Tom all around. Okay, just another quick thing, very quickly. If you want to pop out the chat room, there are two buttons below the chat room that says Pop Out Chat Room. And that way you can resize it, you can move it around, and if you have another monitor, you can even put that chat room on another monitor. Now, there's a couple things going on here. One of them, one of them says alternate HTML5. You might like that. To me, I don't like the interface, but that is the very same chat, but it's HTML5. The other one is Flash chat, and some people don't like Flash, but it's a little simpler for some people. So you got your choice. You can go all HTML5 now. We're about a minute out from the show. We got a great show tonight, so I'll be back with you in a minute. And if I should forget to turn my mic on, guys, tell me in a chat room. I'll be back.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
right, welcome. Today is Tuesday, November 17th, and this is Amateur Radio Roundtable. We've got a great show lined up for you tonight. I think it's going to just knock you off your chairs, and we'll talk more about that after the show. But I want some feedback on this show. It's going to be really exciting here. We've got some great guests on here tonight. I've met them before. I met them at the Dayton Hamvention this past year, and I'm just amazed at what this family is doing. Let's see what we've got going here. Just real quick, for those that just joined at 8 o'clock, our live video now is using YouTube Live instead of Ustream. So if you come into the main video channel, you're watching YouTube Live, you can slide the slider back and you can move it around in the program if you missed anything. That's a neat feature it's got. If you're having trouble with it tonight, this is the first night we moved to it, then of course click on the backup server and try to get the video over there. We're having storms in the Memphis area right now. It sounds a little quiet out there. I think I heard a big tree limb fall on the house a few minutes ago. We have major trees around the house here. We were supposed to get somewhere around 5 inches of rain, and we had winds upwards to about 70 miles an hour and gusts at different times. So I don't know what's happening right now, but it sounds kind of quiet out there. Maybe we're in the eye of the storm, if there is an eye of the storm there. And speaking of storm, we've got a special guest on here that knows a lot about storms tonight. He was a storm chaser for the Weather Channel. We're going to get to meet him in a minute. So everybody, please join us on Facebook. There's links at the top of the page. Join us on Facebook. And sign up with us on Twitter. Hey, and if you don't mind right now, send out a tweet right now that says to all your followers, W5KUB Ham Radio Show is live right now. And maybe we can take the ham radio message out to a lot more people. So help us spread the word on that. So a couple things going tonight on the show. We got the James Lee family from Deland, Florida. I guess I said it right. They can correct me in a minute. But first, let's go to our segment. Riley HollandsWorth, the retired FCC Special Counsel in the Enforcement Division, couldn't be with us tonight, but he sent me an audio, and we're going to run that real quick. He's got, I think, one question that he is going to answer. And if you have any questions for Ask Riley, just send them in to askriley@W5KUB. So let's see what Riley has to say tonight.
Hi, Tom. I got several questions in the last couple of weeks. I'm going to be answering a couple of those by email. One relates to a person that has 2 station locations, and he wants to know if he can have separate call signs for those locations. And another one deals with repeater coordination and the situation where a repeater coordinator says that frequencies are claimed or spoken for, but this person who's applying for repeater coordination says that those frequencies are not being used and that they're being just held or scarfed up by someone who wants to start a repeater there, or that they're being used by an inactive repeater, that is assigned to an inactive repeater. That's a very important question and has some serious enforcement implications, because repeater coordinators do not assign frequencies. They only make frequency recommendations. And if these recommendations aren't valid or aren't being seriously considered, it raises enforcement issues. But I will deal with those in an email, specifically the one in New York related to repeater coordination. I wanted to deal with the red light rule tonight. I get a lot of questions asking what is the red light rule at the FCC. And that rule is that if you owe the FCC money and there's a collection order and you don't pay it, you cannot have any application granted by the FCC, whether it's a renewal application or new application or whatever. This comes from an effort years ago to strengthen forfeiture collection across the government and all agencies. And so the Department of Justice handles these forfeitures if the FCC isn't paid, if they can't collect it. And the Department of Justice takes it over. And there's several things that can happen if you don't pay a forfeiture. You can end up with a lien on your house, for example. Any tax refund that you would have coming to you would be taken by the government. And under the red light rule, you can get no application granted by the commission if there's a collection order and you haven't paid it. If you were to file an application, let's say for renewal, for example, you would have, I believe it's 45 days to pay that forfeiture, or the application will be dismissed and you cannot file it again until the forfeiture is paid. So that's it for this week, and I'll be talking to you next week, Tom. Thanks.
All right. Well, we thank Riley for at least sending us the audio there tonight about some of the questions that were sent in, and we really need your questions. So get them in, guys, and ask Riley. He'll probably even call you back. If you leave a telephone number, he'll either call you back or he'll email you. So he's a great guy to know. So let's jump right into the show tonight. As I mentioned, we've got this amazing family, the James Lee family from Florida. And let's see, let me just see if I can switch over and get them in here tonight. Let me try a different one. There we go. There we go. Okay, I got it. Hi, guys. How you doing tonight?
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Hi.
Great, great. Okay. Well, I know that's not all your crew. You've got a couple people probably hiding there. We're gonna line them all up though. Everybody's gonna get their turn tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm just making sure we got our audio levels working here. I'm sure we'll get some feedback about how it's working. Okay. So hey, welcome again to. Let's see. That's Hope. That's Hope there, right?
this is Grace.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. He looks big. That's Grace. Hi, Grace. How you doing? So that's Grace, the mother, Michelle there. We got James Lee there, and again, you guys, this is going to be a great show. Once we get into this thing, I've got so many pictures. I've got so many pictures and videos here that's just going to amaze you guys. All right, so hey, guys, how did you get this family to be such wonderful ham radio operators? I mean. Did you push it on them? Did they want to be? I guess, James, you're a ham. Did they just want to do it themselves? What happened?
Well, I'll start with this. I've been a ham since I was 12 years old, and when we were getting about ready to get married, Michelle surprised me with a call sign one day. Called me on the air, and I thought, well, why is she using somebody else's call sign? And that was about 23 or 24 years ago. And then things happened, wasn't very active for a few years, and I'll let the rest of the story go to Michelle.
Well, Zechariah, the oldest child, we homeschool, so I thought that he loves airplanes, and you'll learn more about that throughout the rest of the interview here. But he wants to design airplanes, so I thought that maybe by getting into ham radio, it would be more hands-on learning, and that he might learn more electronics and just the theory of electronics and all kinds of things that children are learning in school through books. I thought they might learn through ham radio. So I told them that we were going to start doing some ham radio studying so that they could take their test. Well, I told Zechariah, and to my surprise, the second child, who's a girl, who's 10, she caught on. She's my competitor, or our competitor, and she started having a race basically to see who could be ready for the technician class test first. And so, like 2 weeks later, they both took the test. And then 2 weeks later, again, I guess they were studying some more, and they both passed their general licensing exam. And
3 weeks later.
yeah, and then about 3 weeks later or so, they both took their extra exam. Only Zechariah was very sick that day, so he didn't pass. But Faith Hannah did pass, and so it's kind of been a surprise to see that the girls have caught on. And since then, right before the extra exam, Hope decided she was going to take hers, and she was 8 at the time. So she decided to study also, and it has really surprised me that the girls have caught on, and they love it. And you'll hear more from them about what points of the ham radio.
Well, I would just like to say that the children there are very polished and very smart, and I know that they're homeschooled there. They can talk ham radio like many adults can. So, did you make ham radio maybe one of the classes in the homeschooling?
We did. And since we homeschool, we pretty much can teach what we want. My thoughts are it covers science, it covers history, it covers so many geography, so many subjects that reading, and also, so basically what we allowed them to do was just over the next few weeks, if they want to actually do it as if it's a job, they do it from 9 to 5. They studied for the exams. They read the books and did all they needed to do to study for a few weeks, and that was school to them, because it includes math and it includes everything that they need for a school day, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does actually. And here's a picture of the crew right here. You want to give us a quick tour of the group? Tell us who they are.
Well, Zechariah is up there, and sitting next to him, he's 13. Faith Hannah is 10. She'll be 11 tomorrow. She's in the black there. Grace is standing right here. She's the one with the book in her hand. She's still studying. She's not quite getting all the concepts yet, so she's not quite ready for the test. We were hoping by now she'd be ready, but she can still study. She's still got time. She's 7. And then sitting next to her is Hope, and she was 8 in the picture, and she's now 9. And Hope has her technician. Zechariah up the top there has his general, and Faith Hannah has her extra.
Okay, well, that's a fine-looking crew right there. I'm hearing a little bit of audio feedback, not sure where that's coming from. We're looking for it, but I don't think it's too bad there. Let's look at a couple more pictures here. What's going on here?
That was right after Hope got her Arrow antenna, and she likes to work satellites, and she'll be talking about that later in the broadcast. That's her thing, is amateur radio satellites. And we had gone down to the park where we used to live in Virginia, and we're waiting. That day, that was actually the ARISS, the Amateur Radio on the International Space Station. They were talking to a school, and we used the antenna to listen to the astronaut answering the questions on the downlink.
Oh, that is really cool. The kids working the space station and meeting the astronauts like that. Let me jump this next picture real quick and tell us about this one. Can you make
that one? Well, okay, that was we went to the park here in Deland, Florida, to do a pass of SO50, and they're all putting together the antenna. And a picture that isn't there is they had a big crowd of onlookers for this satellite pass. Unfortunately, they weren't people; they were geese and ducks, and even fire ants. We stepped in a fire ant mound and found out what they do to you.
Oh, that's not good. Okay, let me jump to this one here. Looks like the same area.
Same area, just another picture. They're all working together to put the antenna together. You can see the little white pieces of paper on the end of the elements. We've got them numbered, so it's easier to put them together quicker. And what's cool about this is for us, it's a hobby that the entire family can be involved in. Even Grace, who doesn't have her license, gets to participate. And when we were at Dayton last year, we even to get her involved and excited about ham radio, she got a name tag, and she got a hat. We'll let her tell you about that in a minute. But it has kind of a call sign on it to get her excited about studying and getting into the hobby.
Participate.
Yeah, okay. And here's a shot right here.
That's at the homeschool convention.
Okay, well, this is
Richmond.
homeschooling. Uh-huh.
And as you can see, Hope is, I think she has her radio. She at least has a bottle of water in that chest pack that they got from MFJ. And Grace has got on her hat, which I'll let her explain to you in a minute. But they are playing with robots there. But the picture shows that when we go out in the public, we try to have our radios with us. They love to wear their ham radio hats. And people ask questions, oh, it's cool, you have walkie-talkies. Do you guys talk to each other? And they get to say, well, actually, we can talk around the world, or I can talk on satellite, or, I can talk with Morse code. And it's started a lot of conversations, and I think will bear fruit with new hams down the road.
Younger hams.
Yeah, younger hams. And families.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of requests of people wanting us to bring in young hams and the youth into these webcasts. There's a lot of interest there because a lot of us are getting old, and we need some young people to come in here. So let's ask Grace here. We'll take Grace right now since she's in the camera there, and find out why she likes ham radio. Grace, why do you like ham radio?
Because we get to go to a lot of cool places, and also because I get the hats.
Now, say that one more time.
Speak it
Say it
clearly.
again.
I like ham radio because we get to go to cool places, and also the hats and the name tags.
Oh, okay. I got you there. That's what I thought you said. You get to go places, and the hat and the name tag. Yeah, that makes you look. You can show people, you're a ham radio operator. So, I know you don't have your license yet, but you're studying for it. Are you still going out with your brother and sister and helping them and learning from them?
Do you go out with
You build
and build antennas and stuff?
Yeah, we can build antennas in the backyard.
All right. So, do you think, in what license do you want to get? Do you want to go all the way up to extra class?
Yes.
That's the one to
Daddy
get.
said yeah.
That's the one to get. But you'll have a lot of fun with any class license you get. But just keep working on it there. Anything else, Grace, that you'd like to tell us about you or anything?
Well, my hat does say KM4 question mark, question mark, question mark.
Well, I would say that is a very good call to have right now. KM4 question mark, question mark, question mark. I don't think anyone else has ever held that call, but that's a good call. Maybe you can upgrade soon and get rid of those question marks. Very good. Okay, well, look, let's do this. I've got a video that we're going to run now, and this video is one that came from a forum in Dayton this year. And everybody hang in here with us. You're going to see how smart these guys are, and I guarantee you there's going to be hams on here that learn from this forum right here. This is great. Hey, before I switch down to it, James and Michelle, anything else that you'd like to bring up and talk about?
You have anything? Well, I'd just say, Tom, that one of the things, big reason that we decided to come on the show tonight, we are big proponents of families getting involved in ham radio together. I've been a ham since I was 12. Nobody in my family was a ham, but thankfully my mom and my stepdad were very supportive of it, and they'd allow me to go to the club meetings and even take me to the field days or things like that. But our goal with the kids in ham radio, and they've even got a website that they'll talk about later, is to encourage more kids and their parents to get involved in the hobby. Because we believe that if we get the parents involved with the kids, not only is it going to help build families, but it's going to help perpetuate the hobby, because everybody is going to get involved and find out that it's fun and it is something they can do. And if anybody has questions, the website will be given later. You can get in touch with us through there, and we will do what we can to help get families involved.
Yeah.
It gets
And you know,
Yeah,
it's hamradio.world is one of your sites, right?
Yeah, hamradio.world is a blog that the kids are working on, and the .world top-level domain is a new one. It's not .com. It's .world. So hamradio, one word, .world.
Okay, well, maybe some people might go to it and look at it during the show here, and we'll mention it again a couple times. And I almost forgot to show this picture. This is kind of a neat picture. And you know, a lot of hams kind of get into this stuff right here, but you did it professionally. Tell us real quick about this and why you have this shot.
That was in Webb, Iowa, I think in 2004, maybe June 4th. We saw that tornado form as a little dust devil almost off in the distance, and it turned into this great big monster that crossed the road. It did a little bit of damage. But I'm a professional cinematographer and cameraman, and spent about 20 years getting in front of bad weather as a contractor for the Weather Channel and other news networks. I still do it if it is close by. I don't travel to do it as much as I used to, but been in a lot of hurricanes and seen a lot of tornadoes and things blow down and get blown up over the years.
Well, great picture there. And that's some job chasing these things. Did you ever get too close?
Almost too close to that one, actually.
Yeah.
I was filming it and realized after all the other cars that I was with were gone that it was no longer going from right to left in my viewfinder. It was coming straight at me. And that was this place that we were stopped just prior to taking this picture.
That's a great picture. All right, we're going to jump into this this little video here with the kids, and they're going to teach people about different type antennas. And Grace, it was great having you on here, and maybe toward the end of the show we'll have you back on here again if you want to talk about some more things. And also, we may have a net tonight. I don't know if I can find somebody to call it. I don't know. Maybe we'll have a net. Who knows? Anyway, let's go on to the next part here, and I think you guys are going to like this. So everybody, sit back and get ready to learn.
So let me tell you a little bit about us. I'm Zechariah, WX4TVJ.
And I'm Faith Hannah, AE4FH. I have my extra class license.
And I have my general. So, we pretty much our whole family are hams, and we've had our license since February. And our sister Grace is studying for her license.
Please stand up so everybody can see you.
In our area, which is Chesapeake, Virginia, there's a ham radio club called the K4AMG Memorial Amateur Radio Club. And they mentor kids in ham radio and communications. And if you pass your test, they give you a free radio, like they did for us. We really love them. However, we can't hit all the repeaters, even with the high-gain rubber ducky antennas they gave us. This is a video to show what the problem was. And when we made these videos, we had different call signs, so you will hear different call signs in the videos.
This is KM4IBW listening 97. Not hitting it at all.
Whoever was just trying to get into the repeater, you didn't make it. KM4KL, you need to change your location or increase your power.
Well, maybe we should build an antenna to see if we can hit it.
Yeah, maybe. As you can see, they don't really work well.
See if I can crank it up a little.
So that got us thinking about antennas. Our presentation is titled Child-Friendly Antennas for VHF.
There are two kinds of rubber ducky antennas. The stock rubber ducky antennas come with most handhelds, or HTs, and they have 5 dB loss compared to a quarter wave antenna. That means about 1 watt of effective radiated power comes from a 5 watt radio. Effective radiated power equals ERP. That's what we'll call it. Then there's the high gain rubber ducky antenna. As you can see, they're much longer. They have 1 dB loss compared to a quarter wave antenna. They work better, but we can't hit all the repeaters. We can hit only 1 out of a dozen in our area.
The solution was to make our own antennas. We chose 4 different antennas to make. They are listed in the order that we made them: a quarter wave ground plane, a copper J-pole, a slim jim, and a counterpoise. Now, a counterpoise isn't exactly an antenna, but we'll talk more about that when we talk about the counterpoise.
We chose these because they're great for emergency use, they're portable, they're somewhat easy to build, the parts are easy to find, they're cheap to build, and somewhat kid-friendly.
First, let's talk about the quarter wave ground plane. It is one of the simplest VHF antennas there are to build, and we found this project in the ARL Quick Start Guide for all hams. You can usually find some hams in your area that will come over to help you build the antenna, or will let you use some of their parts to build the antenna. It has 0 dB gain. That means if you are putting out 5 watts, your ERP will be 5 watts, and it is somewhat portable.
This is the quarter wave ground plane. So it has 3 wires that are a quarter wave length long. The top wire is the radiator, and the 2 wires hanging from the sides are the radials. They're all soldered to an SO239 coax connector.
You have to read that loud.
I didn't mean to. So the radials are bent down at 120 degrees. That's this angle. And we figured out that the lower you bend the radials down, the lower SWR you will get until you reach a certain point where it'll go back up. We'll talk about the zip tie on another slide.
We took the quarter wave outside to test it. Zechariah had to do the Statue of Liberty hold.
That's this.
This is a video to show what the results were. KN4KL, KN4KL, this is KN4IBV.
This is KN4KL.
How's my signal?
Good copy from my station. Let me check you on the input. Come on back.
KN4IBV, I'm testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, on the input I've got about an S5 on you, over.
As you can see, it worked. Now the copper J-pole. We copied a J-pole that Rich, W4BUE, gave to us. It has 3 dB gain over a quarter wave ground plane. That means if you are putting out 5 watts, your ERP will be 10 watts. It's not very portable, but would be good for a field command center base station.
This is the copper J-pole. You can probably see why it's called that. So the long pipe is the radiator, while the short pipe is the tuning stub. And there's an SO239 with wire connected to it, soldered to the radiator, while the other end of the wire is soldered to the tuning stub for tuning the antenna. There's a close-up picture of the wire and the SO239.
We told, for this antenna, 1 new ham and 1 experienced ham came to help. The new ham came to learn with us, and the experienced ham, he came to help us build it and to kind of learn with us. This antenna is not totally child-friendly because you definitely need help to sweat the pipes together. You can't do it with a normal soldering iron, you need a blowtorch. We tested the J-pole by putting it We tested the J-pole by putting it on an 18-foot speaker stand. It worked. The repeater I talked on was about 10 miles away, and the ham I was talking to was also 10 miles away, and he heard me on the input and understood what I was saying. We were starting to have a little problem with the antenna.
So as you can see in the picture, the pipe is corroding where we sweated the pipe. We didn't know what that was all about, but now we know that it's because we forgot to wipe the flux off. We didn't know that was important at the time, but apparently it is.
Now the Slim Jim antenna. When it's rolled up like this, it can fit into a pocket or a backpack. It has 6 dB gain over a quarter wave ground plane. That means if you are putting out 5 watts, your ERP will be 20 watts. It can be hung up in a tree in an emergency, and it is somewhat easy to build, and we found the directions on the internet. Open it up.
So that is a close-up picture of what we did on both ends of the antenna. We soldered the tips of the antenna together. There's a notch cut out for capacitance. That's the notch cut out on the on the second antenna we built. And that's the notch cut out on the first antenna we built. As you can see, it's cut into a hole. So it's kind of floppy. And what we learned with the quarter wave ground plane is the more solid wire flops around, the easier it'll break. And that is the tuning stub, where the coax connects to the ladder line. So when we tuned it, we used alligator clips to hold the wires into place before we soldered it, and we got it resonant. And then we took the alligator clips off and soldered the wires, and it wasn't resonant to the same frequency. And then we put the alligator clips back on, and it was resonant to the same frequency as before. We didn't know what that was all about, but now we know that the alligator clips created a capacitor.
Now the counterpoise. Technically, it's not an antenna, but it does complete the rubber ducky antenna on an HT. It is so small it can fit virtually anywhere. I keep one in my purse.
And I keep one in my wallet.
They're so easy to make, kids can make one all by themselves. We made ours by ourselves. And we found the directions on the internet. And since we're homeschooled, our mom and dad are always looking for a teaching moment. Like this one time when we were at Home Depot, actually to get the stuff to make the counterpoise, there was a neck going on, but we couldn't hit the repeater from the middle of the store. We had to go to the front of the store to hit the repeater. If we had the counterpoise with us, we would have been able to hit the repeater from the middle of the store. We know this because we tested it.
So this is an HT with a counterpoise connected to the antenna. So that the picture shows an eye connector right here that connects the counterpoise to the antenna of the handheld. And on the other end of the wire, it's looped so it doesn't poke anybody in the eye. And there's a problem with this antenna, too. We didn't make it out of insulated wire, so it can give you an RF burn. It's not, if any of you have ever not had it, I have not had it, but I hear it's not fun. We figured it out the hard way.
One day we went to a location to do some field testing. We were expecting poor results from both the stock rubber ducky and the high gain rubber ducky. But what we weren't expecting were poor results from the quarter wave up in the tree and the Slim Jim up in the tree. When we got these poor results, we went home to see if we could find out what the problem was. When we were testing both the quarter wave and the Slim Jim, we were using paracord and tied the paracord directly onto the antenna. We later found out that the paracord we were using conducted electricity, so we decided to try a zip tie and attach the paracord directly onto the zip tie instead of onto the antenna. Not yet. I just forgot what I was going to say for some reason. We did this for both the Slim Jim and the quarter wave up in the tree. And note the S0 for the Slim Jim and the quarter wave up in the tree. Another day we went to a different location to do some more field testing. The big difference was for the Slim Jim up in the tree, it went from an S0 to an S7, but we couldn't try the quarter wave up in the tree because we broke a radial, and we would fold it up for storage, and it's solid wire, so it can get messed up with the more bends you have. But we are going to test that sometime. These are some pictures of us field testing.
So for emergency use, for fixed station in the field, we both agree that a J-pole would be the best. But for portable use, that kind of depends on if you're in an open field or in a place where there's a lot of trees. But the one antenna that can be used for both of those ideas, the quarter wave that can be Statue of Liberty hold or up in a tree. '73.
We'll see you on the air.
All right. Wow. What a great presentation. And I was, excuse me, I was reading some of the chat. And there are extra classes in the chat room saying they were learning things from that video. So you guys did a great job. So not only the presentation you made for the youths, but it is also good for a lot of people. Thank you very much. Hey, we're going to go next to Zechariah. Let's see if I can get Zach in here and get him on here. How you doing, Zechariah? All right. Well, so tell us a little bit about why do you want to be a ham radio operator?
Well, I am interested in aviation, and this is a Heathkit GDA 405D. It's a 50-year-old RC transmitter for this one's set to 6 meters. Mm-hmm. Back here is a Quillis Trickster beam. It's also a 50-year-old plane, and that's also set to 6 meters. It's not really flying, but
so
I want to get it flying.
It sounds like to me you're interested really heavily into aircraft and airplanes, and you want to use ham radio to control those airplanes. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I even have a design for one I want to build.
Now you know what? To me, that looks like that looks like the X4Z2.
Yes. Finally, somebody got it right.
Yeah, you know what? Do your parents get it right?
Yes.
They do? Okay. Well, I knew immediately that was the X4Z-2, so that's cool. So when are you going to build that?
You mean?
When? How are you going to do it?
I have no idea.
Well, it's on the drawing board. Okay.
For a year.
Very good.
In fact, I'm not 100% sure what I want to build it out of, but I'm pretty sure I want to build it out of wood and 3D printed parts.
We have just gotten Zechariah and Faith Hannah involved with an aviation explorers scout group here locally in the last couple of weeks. and the skill set will grow through association with that group of kids. So I think he'll be building his plane sooner than we had thought.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, I've got a video with Zechariah here to talk a little about his aviation desires there, and let's play that, and then we'll come back and talk to him more, okay?
Okay.
So here we go.
I'm Zechariah, WX4TVJ, and welcome to hamradio.world. I'm a general class licensee and I'm 13 years old. Most hams like to talk on phone or do CW, which is Morse code, or even do digital modes. I like to do some of that too, but my main interest is radio control, or RC. This model is a 1964 through 68 Guillo's Trickster beam. It was bought in 1964, but finished, it was a kit, it was finished in 1968. So technically, it's 51 years old. This is a radio that came with it. It's a Heathkit transmitter. It's pretty old. These flags are to tell which frequency it is, because each frequency is color-coded, as you may see right here. So there's different flags for each frequency. The reason you use the flags is when your antenna's out, other people will know that you're on a certain frequency, so they know that you shouldn't use the frequency. This is the inside of the transmitter. I intend to restore it and get it flying. Right now it's not in flying condition because this is an old muffler. It would attach to the engine right here, but there's no hole on the side of the nose to let the muffler go. So a hole would need to be cut there. Maybe I would need to get new servos, but I don't know about that. They look pretty good. The engine needs a little bit of oil because it's not running freely. In fact, it's not running at all. This radio, we're going to need to go through it with the instructions, and the instructions for this model of radio are very, very hard to find. The ones we have could be the last, because it's like 50-year-old instructions. But we'll go through the instructions, making sure everything's soldered correctly. We'll inspect each component and make it ready. We're going to be making videos about this and putting them on hamradio.world, so come and see them soon.
All right, well, that was a great job there. Now let me ask you a question. Why did you pick ham radio for your radio control link?
I actually didn't start out wanting to do that. I originally just wanted to do some RC stuff, and then I learned that you could do it on ham radio, so then I had the idea to do it on 6 meters.
Well, you know, I haven't personally flown any remote control aircraft like that. I know the new remote control frequencies and the little boxes. I don't know what kind of range you can get, but I would think with 6 meters you could probably get a lot more range out of your control. Of course, you're not going to want to fly it further than you can see it, though. When do you think you're going to have that thing flying and working by remote control? Is that you have a goal set?
No, actually not, but I'm hoping to get it flying really soon. I just know that.
So why do you tell me about airplanes? You seem to love airplanes a lot. Are you going to be like an aerospace engineer or something like that?
Well, kind of obviously yes.
Okay. Well, maybe you'll work on some of the new space vehicles, you know, maybe going to Mars or somewhere. You know, that stuff's coming up. Maybe now let me ask you, your design of the X4Z2, Is that a space vehicle, or is that just fly around the Earth?
Fly around the Earth. It was actually intended originally to be a racer, which it still is, but the amazing thing about this is I wanted it to be like a racer version of the P-51, but through a lot of design changes, it now looks like an Italian World War II fighter. It's pretty different from what it originally looked like.
Well, maybe you can kind of seal it up and get some pressurization in there and put a flux capacitor on it and modify it where it'll go out into space. So, have you been to any airplane shows? Do you attend any airplane shows?
Yeah, actually. There's a really cool museum in Norfolk, Virginia called the Military Aviation Museum.
Yeah.
It's the largest collection of privately owned aircraft.
Yeah.
That's a picture of me with a B-17 with a ham radio station inside.
Wow, isn't that cool? There you are with a B-17.
It's not one of the 13 flyable ones, though.
Yeah. That is a cool. Now, I know that normally they don't let people go inside these things. When you go to these places, you get to just kind of look at it from the outside. But I heard that you were kind of like a special person, and they give you a special top secret clearance to get inside and sit down here at the operating position. What do you think about that?
That was pretty cool. And here's a little secret between you and me and maybe even all the other people watching this. I think that plane actually had real guns because I saw real bullets in there.
Really? Real guns? Well, I'm sure they probably are real guns. And I don't know about the real bullets. Maybe they had, maybe they didn't have any powder in them. I don't know, but I'm sure they wanted it to look realistic. So, wow, you get to see real aviation things like this, and you get special permission to go inside and touch and see and feel. And did you feel like you were a World War II radio operator looking out that window?
Not really.
No.
I just felt like another amateur radio operator that had a rare chance to go inside a B-17.
All right. Well, I tell you that the B-17 is a really nice airplane. I liked it. I collected models when I was a kid, and I had models of the B-17 and B-24, B-29, all those. But I don't know where all my models went. When you grow up, you lose that stuff. So I'm telling you right now, man, keep your airplane and all that stuff. Don't let it get away from you. Save it. What do you got there? Oh, I like that.
One-of-a-kind drone. It was flown in a contest between a bunch of colleges. This one flew for ODU, but it was one of the 4 drones out of, I think, 30-something colleges to enter the contest to fly.
Yeah.
Here's the amazing part about one of the drones. This is not it, because that drone no longer survives.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why.
What happened?
But in the competition, your drone has to fly through a building that it's never been into, map it out, and retrieve a USB stick. No drone has been able to retrieve a USB stick. But this one college came up with a device that had a strong magnet on wire. It would let the wire down. It would pick up the USB stick, but it wasn't programmed to reel it back in. So it was coming towards the window. We're about to make history. It catches on a metal chair.
Oh, that's not good. So are you actually doing any drone building, construction yourself? Are you using anything like the Raspberry Pis or anything?
Actually, it has an Arduino-based microcontroller in this.
So Zechariah is in the process of learning all this. This was really graciously given to Zechariah by a friend up in Norfolk, Virginia, KW4CR, who was involved with the drone program at ODU. And the decision was made by higher-ups that they were going to go to a commercial closed-source drone. So they decided to not fly this one anymore. And Zechariah got it and has the parts to build another one. And one of the things we need to do is to learn Arduino and learn how to program the microcontrollers. And there is a ham at one of the local clubs who is into that and who can help him get taught and learn how to do it. And I think probably by this time next year he'll have a flying drone if he works hard and learns how to program and learns how to do this. One thing I need to mention, Tom, the kids have only been hams since I think February 16th is when they got their licenses, or maybe that's when they tested.
We tested on the 7th and they came in the database
Okay.
on the 19th.
Tested on the 7th, came in on the 19th. So they're still relatively new to the hobby and learning, and haven't had a lot of time and a lot of experience with this, but they're doing the best they can and having all with it.
All right. Well, I want Zechariah to be my mentor or my Elmer because I'm going to get a drone one day soon. I'm going to get a drone, but I'm going to need some help in how to fly it and modify it. And I want a drone that'll pick up a refrigerator. So Zechariah, is that what will it take to do something like that? I want to move heavy stuff with it.
All you would need is a really smart person and billions of dollars.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Hey, guys, let's move on to the birthday girl, okay? We've got 2 more good stories here to talk about. Thank you, Zechariah, very much.
You're welcome.
Let's jump over here to Faith Hannah. Happy birthday tomorrow.
Thank you.
And you're going to be 11 tomorrow. You're still 10 today, right? Okay, you'll be a whole year. I'm going to ask everyone right now on the chat room to sing happy birthday to you. We've got a lot of people out there around the world. They're going to sing happy birthday to you in the chat room. So go ahead, guys, in the chat room. I'm going to keep the show going, but if y'all would, just sing happy birthday to Faith Hannah there. So, Faith Hannah, I've got a neat little video clip of you. I'm going to play it right now, and then we're going to come back and talk to you, okay?
Okay.
So here we go.
Hi, I'm Faith Hannah,
Guys, there's way too much movement and noise.
I am 10 years old, and yes, I am an extra class ham radio operator. Most people think there aren't any things that kids can do with ham radio, but I like to do contesting. And this is a video of me last year during field day. Field day. This is Whiskey 4, Charlie Alpha Romeo, calling CQ field day and standing by. CQ, 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 CQ field day, CQ field day. This is Whiskey 4, Charlie Alpha Romeo, CQ, 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 CQ field day, CQ field day. This is Whiskey 4, Charlie Alpha Romeo, CQ field day, CQ field day. This is Whiskey 4, Charlie Alpha Romeo, calling CQ field day and standing by. So that was my first field day that I ever operated, which was last year. And this past week, I have been working on the CQ Worldwide SSB contest. And it was a lot of fun, and there were a whole bunch of countries that I had never even heard of. Like, I believe it's pronounced Mayotte, which is near, Madagascar. So that's pretty cool. Plus, I talked to Africa, Morocco, Africa, which I had never talked to. And Mayotte I had never talked to. And Argentina, I believe I never talked to. Czech Republic, I never talked to. I mean, there's a whole bunch of, St. Martin. St. Martin is a very rare place to talk to, and I talked to that. And I tried looking on a map for Kaliningrad, but I could not find it. That must be a small place. I got over 35,500 points in the contest. And in my soapbox, we wrote that I was 10 years old and asked if there was any such thing as a little girl award. We thought that was pretty funny. But for now, I'm Faith Hannah, AE4FH from hamradio.world. Keep checking in to see what cool videos there are and what we're doing with ham radio. See you next time.
All right, Hannah, that was a very interesting clip there about you. You made 35,500 contacts in the CQ Worldwide Sideband Contest. Let me get you on here. Let me see. Here we go. You made 35,000 points?
About, but a few seconds ago you said 35,000 contacts, and we started laughing.
Oh, did I say contacts?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That would not have been very easy, would it? You know, wow. But 35,000 points. That's amazing there. And what was that little small town, Kaliningrad or something? I don't even know where that is.
Well, it's not a town, it's a country, and it's Leningrad. And I think I might have found it, but I'm not sure what its abbreviation is, because if it is, it's abbreviated, so I'm not sure. But it's right above Poland.
Okay, very good.
It's really small.
Well, I think you should win the Little Girl Award, and if there's not one, I think they really need to make one out there for you. So you seem to really taking it. You've got an extra class license, and I noticed in the video we watched earlier, you gave the wrong call letters, and then you corrected yourself. I think you just gotten your call letters that day, right, or that night before?
Yeah, that
morning.
Yeah, that morning in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to break a habit, you know, when you have your other call letters.
I was so used to saying my other call.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see what else we got here now. You've worked all kinds of things. Here's a picture right here now. This is a picture of you working CW. And are you pretty proficient on CW?
Well, I'm not quite sure what proficient means. Oh.
Oh, you are. You know what that means.
No. Actually, no, I didn't. But kind of. I still need a little help. Well, I need a lot of help copying.
So what's your code speed there, you think? What can you send at? How fast?
Well, I can send 20, but that's only been for practice. I've never done that when I'm actually on the air. I've done more like 5 so that he would come back slow enough. But
yeah,
I can send it about 20.
Well, that's good. Everybody can always send, of course, faster than they can receive. What do you think your receive speed is now? Of course, you've got you didn't take the extra class code test like we had 2 years ago, but you're learning the code and you're making code contacts. What do you think your average speed might be?
Probably about 5.
5, I guess.
5? Well, that's okay. That's fine. Yeah, I'm glad you're working code. That's cool. Looks like you're having a lot of fun right there.
It was kind of difficult. I kind of started to cry. If you look closely, my cheeks are red because I had been crying. They're usually not red.
And why were you crying?
Because he kept sending faster than I was sending, so I was confused. That was my first time. I didn't really know what to do.
Well, that reminds me of my first contact when I was 16. I called CQ in code, and a guy came back to me, and I didn't know a thing he was saying. Oh man, that was not embarrassing, but I think I'm like you. I think I just about cried. I thought, this is terrible. But you know, things came around, and it got much better. You know, and I know it's going to for you also. So
now at least we have QRZ.com that we can help with the QTH and the name.
Well, yeah, and that's used by everybody, and it's really helpful, isn't it, to know where people are and names and everything like that. Hey, what kind of equipment you got there? Are you guys sharing equipment with your dad, or do you own the equipment and he just borrows it from you?
Well, we saved up for it by making and selling paracord items, like, hold on, let me take this off.
Yeah, I want to see this.
Like this, bracelets.
I know somebody that makes those and sells them. Now, is that a pretty good Did you sell a lot of them?
Yes. The most that we sold in one night, money-wise, was about $1,000.
You're kidding me.
It is true. That was when we were still living in Virginia, and there was a cop bicycle ride from about Virginia Beach, Virginia, to Washington, D.C., and, well, there's a lot of cops there, so the bracelets that they have are all worn down and all dirty and all, so they might as well get new ones while they can. And we also found out that you've hit the jackpot when you find a bunch of drunken cops and you're a cute little girl.
Well, hey, let me see if I can find something around here to sell. I'll ship it to you because you're definitely a marketing genius there to sell 1,000 of those. Now, I don't have one of those. I know it's parachute cord. I was in the Air Force, and I found many, many uses for parachute cord. So what's the use of that? Is it like a key? Do you put a key or something on it? Is it for an emergency if you untangle it, untwist it to take the rope out? What's the purpose of it?
Well, hold on, I put my bracelet back on. Well, they can be used for basically anything, but the basics that me and my siblings do are mostly me, but my siblings help. You can't really do all the work that we had to do that one night for the cops thing with one person. I mean, all of us stayed up till 11 o'clock that night and got up very early to work on more. We all kind of had to help.
He wants to do what can you do with one? What are they used for?
Well, usually if there's nothing going on, you just use it as a bracelet or a lanyard, stuff like that. But if you need to, you can unwind it. And a bracelet this size gives about 102 to 111 inches, depending, well, the size bracelet that this is, we call it a size 3. It's, I don't know how to explain it. It's...
Okay. That's what I thought it was. So if I get lost out in the forest and I'm starving and don't have anything to eat, and I have one of those, it could save my life. I can get all the rope out of it, make me a snare, catch me a wild hog, and eat it, right?
Well, I think so. You probably could, but if you didn't really know how to make it, maybe not. But if you did, you probably could. I actually had one guy ask for a bow sling instead, and since that was the first time, that took a little longer than we were expecting. That was about 3 days to get it done properly, because we made a mistake on the first one, and we almost made a mistake on the one that we gave to him, but we could fix that mistake, and we got it so that it was like perfect. At least I think. He thought it was good. We asked if he thought that was what he needed and if it had any mistakes or anything, and he said it was good. But since that was my first one that I made of bow slings, and it's kind of hard to make them because you have to do a whole bunch of different stitches almost at the same time. It's pretty weird how you make them.
So you could hang an antenna up over a tree limb with that.
Yes, we actually took some paracord.
Chinese paracord.
No, that wasn't
Chinese. Chinese? Okay.
No.
All right.
That's the one that the guy gave to us, the little scraps.
Oh, okay.
Well, we hung our Slim Jim from the air vent with some paracord.
Yeah.
So you can't hang things.
Well, just one other last thing about paracord. If you look inside that, it's got a lot of little small strings or ropes inside it, and you can pull those out. And, where you only have maybe 10 feet there, you can pull all those other little strands out of there, and you'll have maybe 80 feet, and that stuff is really strong. Just a strand of paracord that's inside that might be rated at 300 or 400 test pounds, so it's some really strong stuff. All right, so what else, Faitana? Again, hey, I saw in the chat room everybody was singing happy birthday to you. I didn't hear the music, but they did a good job there. And we saw you're involved in the contesting and DXing and all that, and you look like a very proficient operator there. What else do you want to tell us before we move on to Hope?
We'll talk about K1B and 4P.
I was going to do what you told me to
Is
say.
there something else? Is there something you want to talk about?
Well, my dad suggested that I should say this maybe, and this is kind of true. Well, yes, it's true. But those Heil headsets are really good, but a Pro 7 headset is the best. So Bob Heil, if you're listening, that would be a really good birthday present.
All right. Well, hey, I know Bob. And I will make sure Bob gets that message up that way.
She has learned that it's hard to operate in a contest without headsets. In fact, I think she told off some people at Field Day last year who were talking behind her. She's trying to get points for the club. But there is a couple things going on, and Faith Hannah can talk about them. Next year, the ARRL is doing, in conjunction with the Park Service, the 100-year anniversary of the parks, and they are trying to get all the national parks on the air. And on January 1st, we're trying to get into Canaveral National Seashore. We've run into some issues with the Park Service. I guess the people in Washington didn't tell the actual parks what was going on. But we're going to try to have a special event station. Faith Hannah can talk about that.
Yeah, tell us the call letters, Faith Hannah, of the special event. What's the call letters going to be?
Wait, which one?
The 100-year anniversary of the National Park Service?
Oh, well, the call sign's going to be a 1x1 that is N4P, National Parks.
Okay. In 4P. Okay. And you're also working on a special field day, right? K1D. It looks like kid, right?
Yes, that's why we assigned that call for field day.
Yeah, okay. And you guys, tell me just real quick here. This is something I forgot to ask you, but you guys are going to be, it's going to be the youth only. You're not going to have adults there, and you're going to do some of your own, well, you're going to do all the operating. And what about things like solar power supplies? You're going to build those things and antennas?
Yes, we are going to do that stuff. I think we already made the antennas. I think we're just going to take one down from our house and bring it there and then set it up there. But, you know, we've built all the antennas that we have at our house, including the TV antenna. We built that too, but that has nothing to do with it.
I'll interject here. They're going to build a solar power supply. Kyocera Solar has provided a solar panel, and the idea is to have the special event field day station operated and put together entirely by kids who are under 18. And it'll be in Central Florida and near Sanford with the Lake Mary Amateur Radio Society. They have a big field day event, and they've said we can co-locate with them. And hopefully we can find more kids who, with their parents, want to come down and actually operate and help run the station. So if there are any that want to come to Florida for field day, it's a really wonderful hot time of the year. You can come and get in touch with us through the website at hamradio.world, and we'll see about getting people down to be able to have the kids help with it. So they're going to be building a solar power supply. The plan is to have a GOTA station, a get on the air station, probably run that off a generator, and be able to show kids and their parents, that, it's something kids and families can do, and that it's fun, and you can get on the air, you can talk to somebody across the country or even in another country, and that there are more than one way to power something when the power is off. So, Faith Hannah, anything else you want to say about that whole thing?
I don't think so.
She doesn't think so.
Okay, well, again, very interesting, Faith Hannah, with all the things you're doing. You're doing a great job in promoting ham radio there. So thank you very much. And we're going to move on now to your sister, Hope. She's got a few things she's done too. Wow, what a family. You guys have done everything. So we're going to get Hope in here. I'm going to go ahead and start a video with Hope. Hey, Hope, how are you?
Good.
Oh, let's see. Let me get you on here. Hang on. Let me find. There we go. Hey, so you're doing good down there, huh? Now, I know, well, you're homeschooled, so I understand it's okay if you stay up a little late tonight, because that way, if you have to sleep a little late tomorrow, it's okay. Is that right?
Yes. A lot of times when it's not school days, the next day, weekend, today, or whatever the day is, like tomorrow, it's not a school day, different day, but we can stay pretty late, actually, a lot of times.
Okay, that's good. Hey,
We
I
like
got
jet stream for dinner too sometimes.
Yeah. All right, I got a video here of Hope making her first contact. We're going to run this video, Hope, and then I want to talk to you about it. So here we go.
I'm Came for IPF, Hope, and I'm going to tell you about my first QSO. My first QSO was at a friend's house who is also licensed. His name is Richard Siff, and he is W4BUE. Well, at the first, my brother and sister weren't sure who should go first of either of them. And then my daddy had said that why don't we let KM for IPF go? He was looking on his phone then.
I was thinking maybe KM4IPF ought to go first.
We have a new call.
That's not her call sign. And apparently, my sister's name starts with F, Faith Hannah. So I was like, that's not her name, or her call sign, I mean. But then my daddy had said, yes it is, and pointed to me.
KM4IPF.
Oh, yay! So I got my license now?
You have your license now.
I didn't know that, but it had F, so I thought it was Faith Hannah.
No, you know that's not my call sign.
I know, but I thought Daddy made up a funny one. Then he showed us in the database on their website that Came for IPF was mine and I was talking. So 30 minutes after that, I talked on satellite for the first time, which is my first contact. I learned to like it from the start, and then I started to like this. So that's why I like ham radio satellites. So now I'm gonna show you a video of my first QSO. Came for IPF. Kilo Mike for India Papa Foxtrot. Kilo Mike for India Papa Foxtrot. Over. It said it there.
Kilo Mike 4 Alpha India Foxtrot. Kilo Mike 4 Alpha India Foxtrot from Kilo 4 Yankee Lima. Kilo 4 Yankee Lima. Over.
K4YYL.
Say K4YYL.
Kilo Mike 4 Alpha India Fox from Kilo 4 Yankee Lima.
Wait. Go.
Okay, go. K4YYL from
Kilo Mike 4.
Kilo Mike 4 India Papa Foxtrot. Fox Mike 16, Fox Mike 16. My name is Hope. Hotel Oscar Papa Echo. Your signal report is 5 knots. You are my first QSO. I am 8 years old.
I got my call sign today. Over.
Congratulations, officer. Congratulations to you. Make sure I have your call okay. Is it Kilo Mike 4, India, America, Florida, or India, Pacific, Florida?
Say
Over.
Pacific. Over. Say Pacific.
Pacific.
Say Pacific.
Pacific.
QSL, Alpha, Pacific, Florida. QSL, thank you very much. You're 5 and 9 also, 5 and 9 into Echo Mike 84. Echo Mike 84, and I'm in the South Carolina part of that grid, and my handle is Art, Alpha Romeo Tango. So back to you, and again, congratulations on your license and your first QSO. KM4 India, Papa Foxtrot, Kilo 4 Yankee, Yankee Lima, over.
Say 73s.
Say 73 and then give your call sign clear.
73.
And here's my sister.
KM4 IPF. Here's my sister, and I'm clear.
So that's my QSO. That was my first QSO that I ever made and licensed. I hope you liked it, and please keep coming to hamradio.world to see what we have to show you of what we do on ham radio. This is Came for IPF Hope.
Wow, that was amazing contact you made, Hope. And for our viewers out there, let me just tell them that was not an easy contact. That was on satellite, and that was single sideband. And I have worked single sideband satellites before, and they are very difficult because of the Doppler shift. As the satellite moves, you got to keep turning the dial and following that sideband signal, and that's the reason she kind of sounded like a robot a couple times. You know, the Doppler shift kept moving, and but that was a great contact. So what did you think of, hey, your first contact was in space. How did you do that?
Do that? Well, most of the work is actually done by the radio, the signal, and the satellite. Because my signal comes from my radio and the antenna up to the satellite, bounces off to that person all around the world, and they get to hear my signal and send back the same way.
So the satellite's kind of like a repeater up in space. But it doesn't stay there all the time, does it?
Yeah, you have to follow it. Repeaters just don't move. They don't sprout legs, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, let's see. I've got some pictures here of a lot of things you've done. Let me jump into some pictures. What is this you're doing right here?
That was actually on the National Park Day, Get the Park on the Air. That is the Wright Brothers Monument. We went up on the big steep hill near the big statue thing, and we talked on satellite. That's a picture of me.
Yeah, now let me ask you a question. You got your satellite system all set up there, the antennas. You're at a public park here. Did strangers come by and look at you funny and say, what's this girl doing?
Well, actually, yes. I get that a lot, and a few of the times, everyone's been asking, is that ham radio? And we're like, we're surprised you know about it.
Well, I'm sure you could teach them a lot. So let's see, here's another picture. Oh, it looks, this must be winter time.
Well,
That's
actually...
the next day.
Oh, is that the next day?
Next day. It was freezing cold, sandy everywhere, and I was all dressed up in a big, huge jacket, and I was like, oh no, it's freezing.
Well, I tell you, you probably take after your daddy, because that kind of reminds me of some of the Weather Channel guys, you know, and they're standing out in the cold and the wind and have their hoods and stuff on. So that's kind of cool there.
Which that's actually a jacket that is the weather one.
Oh, that is the weather one. Okay, very good. Hey, now, I've got another quick video here I want to play. I like this video probably better than the other one. This is my favorite video. And I want everybody to listen to what you said at the end of this video. I mean, you really were willing to give away a lot. I want everybody to listen to the end of this. It's a very short video, so here we go.
I
just had my first QSO on Fox 1 satellite. This is my second time trying to talk on it. The person I had talked to was W5PFG, and he was in Texas. From Florida to Texas, that's actually pretty far. I had fun doing it. I was so happy I had it. I offered part of my brownie to my daddy.
All right, so that was cool. You were so excited, you offered part of your brownie to your daddy. Now, did your daddy take that brownie?
No, he did not take the brownie. Oh, well, yum, more for me.
More for you. Okay. All right, let's see. Let me see. I got a couple more pictures here real quick we need to get through. We're running kind of late tonight, but that's okay. Tell me what you're doing here.
That's me putting together my antenna. Either that or taking it apart.
Now again, how do you know what parts go where?
Well, you put them by size. In the back where you hold it, it's the bigger ones, and it gets shorter and shorter. Plus, we learned that, and to make it way easier, we labeled them.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. The long one is at the back. That's the reflector, and then they get smaller and smaller as they go to the front with the reflectors. Very good. Here's another picture. Oh, I got to ask you about this one. Let me tell you. Here you are on the beach. You've got two radios strapped to you. You've got wires all over you. You got satellite antennas. You got earphones on, walking up and down a public beach. People have got to think something's wrong with you. What do they say? What do they say about you walking around like that? You must look funny to them, not to me, but to them.
Well, I don't know that any of them did, but I do remember a few of the ladies that were near where we were standing a long time, just kind of moving up and moving their chairs over.
All right. What do we got here? Oh, that's a good picture there. You're happy. Is that when you made a contact?
First, unroll yourself, wasn't it?
My daddy thinks that's the one after the one by myself.
Okay.
I think that's the first one she made by herself on SO50.
Oh, okay. Cool. And what do we got here? Here we are inside.
That was field day. Talk about getting up early.
Oh yeah, that's field day. It's all dark because I got up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. So a.m. It was cold. Very cold.
Oh man, so that's field day?
Yes, that's field day earlier this year.
You know, getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I always hated that because I wanted something to eat, and I could never really find anything to eat.
Yeah, there were Twinkies. As you can see in my hand, Twinkie.
So did you share your Twinkies with anybody?
There was a whole bunch.
Okay.
Maybe 2 or 3 of them.
Everybody had Twinkies. And then another ham came and cooked sausage and eggs. It was a good time.
Oh yeah, there's some really good food at field day. Some guys, they really go out with cooking and everything. All right, let's see. Now this is an interesting picture. I hope you want to tell me what this is.
That is actually from the space station, the International Space Station. That is the slow television.
Slow scan?
Yeah, slow scan television.
Yeah, that's great. Now it was from the Russians, it looks like. So you copied that from the space station. That's cool.
We did that in the Target parking lot.
Oh wow! All right, and then we're going to move right along here. A ship? Tell me about the ship.
Well, the ship was very cool. The guy in the red shirt, I think it was, he is named Yuri. He is a ham radio operator and does a whole lot of the satellites. He goes into all different grids, very rare grids that need to be worked. He does that for work, and he really wanted us to be able to go on a ship and to see it hit all his gear and to touch it now. There's only one other ham operator that ever did that, that I know of. and it was very cool. And my sister and I talked to it. Bethana and I talked to him, and he had said that he really wanted us to talk another time, and he said he would keep our QSL cards with him at his shack, so later sometime he would be calling me and Satana and Zechariah and all, even if he hears others. We tried to do that. I called him and he called me, but we didn't really talk to each other from that, although we tried, so it just went on to other people. Although him, I don't know.
Well, what he's doing is really a neat thing because, you know, satellite operators, they try to see how many grids they can work. Do you know how many grids are in the U.S.? Is it like 100 or I don't remember now.
Yeah, a lot.
We have a grid square map.
I don't remember, but one of my friends here in Memphis has worked all grids in the U.S. and but they're always looking for more grids. And this guy on his ship, as he moves across the ocean or the Gulf down there, he goes into different grids and he makes satellite contacts with you guys. So that's cool. He gets you a new grid.
Yeah, they're very rare things. He goes through very rare grids.
Yeah.
That need to be worked, a lot of people would say.
All right, so you're our satellite person. Now, what's this little thing you're holding here? It looks like a lunch box.
Absolutely not. It is a replica of the Fox 1 satellite at Dayton earlier this year.
So that's a replica of the Fox 1 satellite. That is really
That's
small.
actually the engineering model, I think is what it was.
It's really small, but that thing puts out really good signals here back on Earth. It doesn't take much to hear it.
After it was launched, I talked to it. I talked on it once, which was to Texas. I think it showed a picture of him, the guy that I talked to earlier. And speaking of which, I think that was in the video. That video of my first contact, that man that was in it with us, he is Richard Ziff, and I know he is watching, and if he's still watching, I want him to please tell the club members that I say hi.
Oh, that's right. There was a lot of youth that were invited tonight to try to tune in and watch. We'll look in the chat room in a little while and see if any of them are in there. And that reminds me, let me just make a quick announcement. Rich Olson, W9TIT, Rich is with the Wisconsin Military Academy, and he always watches our program on a big screen TV. Well, it's not a TV, it's in an auditorium, so the screen may be 20 feet big, you know, and he watches us in there. And tonight he's got 10 people in there wanting to get their ham license, and they're all watching the show tonight. So we've got people at the Wisconsin Military Academy tonight watching you guys. So Hannah, Hope, I know that you're going to be speaking at Dayton and Orlando this coming year, and you're going to give a forum or speak about satellites. Is that right?
That is correct. I'm going to speak in January.
February in Orlando.
February in Orlando. It's not really gonna be teaching about all the different satellites. It's more what I like to do on satellites and all that I have done. It's not exactly what you can do. It's more what you have done that I think is pretty cool.
Well, that is so cool. Well, let me say something. You, your brothers, sisters, all you guys are really cool, okay? The things you're doing at your age, really, really cool there. And if you look how many years now you've got to do, you'll pass your mom and dad in being cool. You'll do so much more than them in ham radio with all the new technology coming. All right, was there any last comments you'd like to talk about, Hope, before we kind of wrap this up?
Well, I do want to say to that guy, Richard, who helped a lot. I do have to give him credit. He helped a lot. he gave me my first radio, paid for my test, and was very supportive to my brother and sister and me in getting our licenses. And I forgot to tell him hi. So, hi.
Okay. Well, we're going to just say hi to everybody we forgot to say hi to,
I would say that it's cool to know that a legacy is going to be left. And for anybody who's a ham who has children who show any kind of interest, I really encourage to just find a way to get them interested. And something that Michelle tells people, she didn't say this time, is when they first got into ham radio, I was trying to drag them along into the things that interest me. And that lasted, the interest with the kids lasted for, a couple days or a week, and then we could tell that the interest was waning. So we started to find out what interests the kids, with Zechariah with the radio control, Faith Hannah with the contesting, and then Hope with the satellite. Find something that interests the kid that you're interested in getting into ham radio, and encourage it and cultivate it. And let's bring the average age of ham radio as a hobby back down to probably where it ought to be. There's a lot of great kids out there who can do a lot for this hobby, who can get us into the future with new modes and new ways of doing things and new ways of thinking. And if there's anybody that you notice a child that is interested in ham radio, find out what interests them and let's get them on the air.
I totally agree with you, James. This is so cool. I want to say thanks to your whole family tonight for sharing with us all the things that they do and all the fun they're having in ham radio, and I know that they are going to help influence many other new youth to get in the hobby. So is there any chance anytime soon we might can talk to Faith Hannah on HF? Does she have any operating times that she operates?
Well, we may try to get on 40 meters here or even 20 meters here in a little bit. We'll get in the chat room.
Okay.
Again is November 8, Zulu, Quebec, Zulu, and WX.
All right, this would be a big surprise for everybody. Let's do this. Everybody stay in the chat room, and let's get you guys on HF if you want to. Well, the band may not be good where we can talk to anybody, but let's try 40 meters and 20 meters, whatever, and we can coordinate in the chat room. You can say we're on, 7125 or whatever, and that way people in the chat room can look for you, and we'll talk to all you guys. We'll even talk to Hope on HF there. She can talk on it. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks very much again. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys, and y'all go ahead and fire the HF rig up. I'm going to see if I can get a hangout going on here, but I'm going to be watching the chat room, and I will turn my HF rig on here in a minute, and I'll see if I can talk to you guys if you can publish a frequency, okay?
All right, we'll look on 40 meters first, and we'll publish something on there.
And what call are we going to use? Are you going to use Faith Hannah's call?
We will use Faith Hannah's call sign, and she AE4FH Alpha Echo 4 Foxtrot Hotel, or the reason she upgraded to extra so she could get the call sign that says Amateur Extra for Faith Hannah.
Well, that is so cool. I also want to say, Zechariah, the reason he has WX4 TVJ is because of you, his dad. You're WX4 TV, and he put the J on there for Junior. That's the story I heard.
Yeah, that's what he did. I did it. Actually, I got that call sign, I think, the day after that tornado in Webb, Iowa. I was talking to a friend from England who is a storm chaser, and he's a ham. And he's like, you ought to try to see if you can get WX4 TV, weather for television. And that's how I came about with that call sign.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, hey, I'm looking forward to trying to work you guys on there. And hey, if I'll talk to everybody on there. So on HF. So I'll fire mine up here in a minute. Let me check Hangout, and you guys go ahead and see if you can get something going on HF and publish a frequency, and I'm gonna join you.
Okay,
Thanks a lot, guys. To everybody there, to Michelle, to James, Zechariah, Faith Hannah, Hope, and Grace. And we hope Grace gets her license soon. I know she will.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom. We've enjoyed it.
All right, 73, and hopefully we'll see you on the air in a few minutes. All right, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
I'd like to ask anybody out there tonight, please give me your thoughts. Something happened in the chat room. That's a private chat that happened. Okay, here we go. Hey guys, just real quick, give me a report in the chat room how the show was tonight, quality-wise. We made a big change. I want to see, was the video better? Hopefully, YouTube allows us to broadcast in HD, in high definition. Was the video any better tonight? Was there less buffering? Did you get commercials? How was it tonight? I'd really, really like to know how it went tonight. Need some feedback. So while we're getting geared up for HF here, I'm going to try to get on Hangout. See if anybody is joining us on Hangout. Kathy, did you send that Hangout chat out? Okay. Test 1, 2. They said no. Somebody said no audio. Okay. We'll probably get on 40 maybe. Let me get on Hangout here. Wow, I've got a lot of emails already from people about the show tonight. I hear the wind blowing out there again. I was afraid that our storm was going to take our internet down. We're on UPS here, but of course if the internet doesn't stay up, that would not help much. So let's see what we've got going here. Jeffrey, are you there? What's going on here? I've got a lot of emails already about people about the show tonight. I hear the wind blowing out there again. I was afraid that our storm was going to take our internet down. Oh, that's me talking. We're on UPS here, but of course the internet. That's me talking. I'm gonna have to check back in here. Not help much. So let's see what. I had a connection with Jeffrey there in V3E, I think. Let me see what's going on with him. There we go. Are you there, Jeff? Oh. I hear the wind blowing out there again. I was afraid that our storm was going to take our internet down. That's interesting. Yes, here, but of course the internet. Jeffrey, can you hear me? All right. Well, Hangout's not going to work very good tonight, I don't think. Oh, let's see. Oh, wait. There we go. Somebody join us. William joined us. Hey, William, how you doing out there you're out west? I forget the state.
Montana.
Montana, yeah.
Yeah, doing great.
Very good. You must be, I hear some feedback there, probably coming from our
it's coming through Jeffrey's.
So you must be out there smoking a cigar again, right? Or you fixing to light one up,
yeah.
I would imagine.
Had to start early. It's starting to get cold in the garage shack here.
Yeah. Okay, so did you watch much of the show tonight, William?
Yeah, I was able to watch almost all of it. It was really good. The quality was excellent.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so
I need to mute. Probably need to mute Jeffrey or something.
Well, it's coming from you. It's coming from you, William. You must be out there smoking.
I got headphones in, so.
Oh.
Well, had to start early. Starting to get cold in the garage shack here.
Sorry, Tom.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There's okay. I got it now. Yep. I was trying to look at the little green dots. If it wasn't, I wasn't seeing the dots on Jeffrey. Jeffrey, where's your camera?
I don't know. I actually did some things this week. I bought, if If you go to my QRZ page, you can see me. I actually have quite a few cameras running now, but I don't know how to get it running here.
Oh, well, you know, I don't know. I just don't know what to do with you. I'm gonna turn this camera around at the operating position here, and let's see if I can pick a different camera here.
I would imagine I could go and turn everything else off.
All right, so
go to my QRZ page. You can watch me there.
Okay, I got a messy thing here. Let's see. Nothing on 40, nothing heard. Let me get some. Hey, you know, this might be an interesting discussion tonight. We're having 5 inches of rain, storms, and 70-mile-an-hour winds. I'm fixing to get on the air. Maybe I'll fire it up. I might need to call for help.
All right.
Yeah, it's getting ready to blow over here as well, but no rain.
Well, let's see. I hear a W1 on 7138 coming in loud and clear.
I think they're going to try to be on 7250.
7250?
Yeah,
Is that
last
the
I saw in
frequency?
the chat room.
All right, let me go over there and see if I can get on. Let's see.
Oh, they're on 80 now. 3890.
7250. I don't hear anyone on 7250, but I'm going to make a call.
Well, they moved over to 80 meters.
They moved to 80. What frequency are they going to on 80?
3890.
3890, okay.
90. Let me see if I can find them up here.
3890?
Yeah, 3890.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a little far for me.
It's going to be too far from where they are. They're in Arizona?
No, they're in Florida.
Oh, I might hit them. Probably not. Well, I don't see anything here. 3892, I got something going on.
Okay, 3890.
Well, I can usually get something on something down here on 3890.
Someone hears her in Tennessee.
I'm hearing. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, there you go.
Got some tuner uppers.
This is Whiskey 5, Kilo Uniform Bravo. Man, there's a bunch of us in here. Man, there's a pile up on there now after she called. I heard her. I called her, but there was a bunch of people calling at the same time.
Roger. QTA nice meeting you. My name is Brian Bravo Romeo Yankee Alpha November. Making a good trip up here in the West Virginia. Over. Good.
What's her call, Tom?
Alpha Echo for Foxtrot Hotel, I believe.
Echo. I'm sorry. Alpha Echo 4 Foxtrot Hotel.
That's correct. Yeah.
Which
Amateur
one?
Extra.
That's what's her name?
Faith.
Yeah. Is that the mother?
No, that's the older one.
The oldest one. Got a funny first name. Yeah, what is that?
That's what I said. Over.
Roger. I was just asking you how old you are. I got your QRZ page pulled up. Just, I see you passed your extra class license there. Congratulations, and just wanted to say you were.
Well, I'm 10 today.
Roger on 11. That's awesome.
I'm going to go off radio.
Glad that you decided to take up ham radio. I have a son that's on the 8th, and hopefully he'll be playing. Good to see the getting into the hobby.
Why do I keep doing this?
I heard some other stations calling for you. So I will let you go. And my call is 218. Bravo, Charlie, 218. Bravo, Charlie. Look me up on QRZ. Getting out there well with you. 733. Good contact. Okay.
PMG or BMG.
And this is Whiskey 5 Kilo Uniform Bravo. Yeah, AE4 FH, this is Whiskey 5 Kilo Uniform Bravo. It's very nice to work you on here. For everyone listening, we just finished a live ham radio show, and Faith Hannah was one of the guests on our show tonight. And after the show, we all decided to get on here and see if we could work her. My name's Tom. I'm in Collierville, Tennessee. And if you want to watch the show, it will be recorded, and it'll be at w5kub.com. We have a show every Tuesday night, and she was one of the awesome, outstanding guests tonight on the show. Back to you, Faith Hannah, AE4FH, W5 Kilo Uniform Bravo.
W5 Kilo Uniform Bravo. We are 5'9" here in Florida, and yes, we know who you are.
Yeah, okay. Real fine. Yeah, I knew you knew me. I was just trying to let the other people know what's going on, because I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to work you. There was such a pile up starting there, and I just wanted to let everybody out there know that everyone that watched the show tonight is going to probably be on here trying to call you right now. In fact, we're still streaming the show live right now. And if anybody goes to w5kub.com, they will actually see us talking to you now. So the official show's over, but we're still on the air there. Well, Faith Hannah, I'm going to sign off and let you talk to some of the other people that are in the chat room that want to talk to you. You got a good signal in here, a good 5.9 signal into Western Tennessee. You did a great job tonight on the show, and you and your whole family, brothers, sisters, everybody. It was really great. 73 to you. AE4 FHW5 Kilo Uniform Bravo.
Well, that's a cool shot you have. We're looking at it right now on the live video. But, wait, I forgot what I was going to say another time. I think, why do I keep forgetting that? Well, it's 2 hours past bedtime for us. So pretty soon I may need to be going to bed. And you said you were carrying a big pile up. We're not carrying much of a pile up at all. You were the only person I heard that time when you called. Over.
Oh, yeah, I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to talk to you. I heard 4 or 5 people calling you, some very loud signals, and I thought, man, I'm going to have to get in the chat room and tell her to listen for me. But anyway, I got through. Thank you again, 73. I know it's late there for you guys. Stay on as long as you want, or sign off when you get ready. And just go ahead and listen, see if there's anybody else that you can hear that you want to say hi to. 73, we'll talk to you later. AE4FHW5KUB.
Good evening. I enjoyed your family's show tonight with Tom. Very good information, and it's so nice to see some young homes out there. I want to hold up because I think there's a whole lot of people that want to talk to you tonight. So, A4FH, this is A3BD. I'm in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and you're 10 over in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Over.
Very good. 7-3.
73, see you right back.
I'm kind of busy, but I gave you a report in Toledo. Now, I heard you first, but I was quite busy when you called. I was eating my supper for November 8th, Delta Hotel Victor, about 10 miles south of Toledo, Ohio. Really nice signal, especially if you're running a 100 watt. Name's Larry. I'm running 100 watt. Now, go ahead.
I copy that guy over here, but I'm still not hearing Faith.
I'll mute my mic because that's probably too much static coming in, isn't it, to you guys?
No, it sounds fine.
You can always mute me yourself if you need to. Got a lot of static here. We've got a lot of storms in the area right now.
Yeah, I always get a lot of static here, but it's all local noise.
November 4, over.
Oh, I'm sorry, November 8th. November 8th, Delta Hotel Victor.
So, you're smoking the place up again there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. I couldn't answer you when you first got here. I was
How to do it. So you going to be on sweepstakes this weekend?
No, I won't be. I usually don't work many contests or anything.
Yeah, but this is like the contest of contests.
Is it? I don't know, man. You know, I've been a ham for 51 years, and I've worked hundreds of countries, and I never bothered to send in my cards to get them checked for DXCC or anything. I'm just not much of a contester. I'm more of a home brewer and builder, and
Hey, Tom.
I like doing contests. They're kind of fun.
Yeah.
Tom, that was fun.
Yeah, it was. She's still working people there. I don't know if you want me to take the mic away from the radio. It's probably not doing too good.
Oh, it's not bad. It's not bad. I have my speaker turned down for the radio. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the. I did a whole bunch of upgrades and stuff for my cameras, and I guess there's some other programs that pick the camera resources up, and Google can't figure out, or I can't figure out how to do Google to pick it up. Maybe it's up here. Oh wait, there is some stuff up here in Google I can look at. I gotta figure this out.
She's working a lot of people, one right after the other. They're hearing her. I heard you too. I heard you, Jeff. You had a pretty good signal.
Yeah, she caught me real good. So
yeah, you had a good signal. I could hear you.
Yeah, I heard you real well too, Tom. That's we can work for sure.
Kilo Mike 4, Alpha Hotel Papa.
Yes, Alpha Echo 4 Fox Hotel. This is Kilo Golf 4 Sierra Victor X-Ray. KG4 SVX, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot of people calling her, man. It's like a contest, you know.
Yeah, well, it was very cute. I mean, you had about 60 viewers most of the night. And,
located in Palm Bay.
I tried to get a few people on from people that I, were working HF tonight. Guys I hang out with. They were watching.
Yeah, I'm listening to two loud noises at one time. I'm trying to hear you one ear and the webcast the other. Let me let's see. Let me take it. Let me turn this down.
I'm gonna jump out of here for a minute so I can come back.
Let me just ask you a question real quick. Hey, how did the new video work tonight compared to Ustream other nights?
Oh, it's great.
Awesome.
Did it seem to be more steady, if that's a word, more steady, or?
Yeah, it was consistent.
It was very consistent, exactly. The only thing there was some, and I don't know if you heard this, but there was like There was a buzz, Tom, every time you came back on your audio. Just a little tiny buzz from what I could hear.
I think, and I could hear a little of that. I think we were getting some type of feedback through Skype tonight.
Okay.
I think the connection was not muting, the two-way traffic properly. Because I've got. Let me think. You'd be surprised how all the stuff is wired up here. I've got the. I've got the output.
Yeah, there's definitely feedback.
I've got the output of Skype. I got the output of Skype going into the webcast. The output of Skype.
That was a little annoying. So you got to get that fixed.
Okay.
And if you want to try it during the week, you can certainly call me, and I can get on it with you if you want.
And I don't hear it. I don't really hear it now with you on this. And this is the same PC that I was running Skype on.
It seemed like when you switched between the users.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll look into that. Yeah.
Talking to the young girl down there, and then you came back on. There was a little bit of buzz.
Okay. Well, I can hear the rain coming down out here. We're supposed to get 5 inches in the next hour or two.
Yeah, 5 inches.
Yeah, it's I can hear it pouring down out there right now, man.
That's a lot of rain.
Yeah. I'll look into that, but I guess mainly I was interested in, did you get a lot of, people complain about buffering. Here's my problem I've got. And I was looking at, we had a posting on eHam or something about the show, and somebody got on eHam and says, well, I'm never going to watch it. All it does is buffers all the time, and it's bad. And, I'm thinking, okay, well, I want to try to make things better. But at the same time, I get other people telling me that, it didn't buffer at all. They got the entire show fine. So that kind of tells me there's nothing wrong on my end. It's probably the feed from like Ustream out to them wherever they are, somewhere on the internet. But
I saw nothing tonight. The show just ran perfectly clean for me. It's great without seeing any commercials. Although I haven't seen them for weeks because I had the anti.
I don't think YouTube puts the commercials on there to tell you the truth, because I turned my ad block off just to test it, and I didn't get any commercials, so I think it's commercial free.
I think you have to get a little bit more traction in the channel, and then eventually I think the monetization will allow you to turn on like banner ads and stuff like that while you're streaming.
Yeah, I can turn on. Yeah,
eventually you can actually push in. You can actually do ad inserts and stuff like that later on. But I think you have to kind of it has to do something with your metrics on your monetization counters.
Yeah, well, it'll let me do that. Yeah, it'll let me do that now. I can monetization it or whatever, unless if I get a copyright violation, like if I've got a song playing, it comes back and it tells me here on the dashboard that I can't monetize it because I've got that copyright in there. I think it's going to go to them or something. I'm not too interested in monetizing it anyway. Hey, look at there. What's his name? Don joined us again, man.
Yeah, Don's here.
Hey, good evening.
Let me get the camera over on you guys if I can find you again. There you go. There's Don. Well, Don, I've got a ham friend here that lives down the street from me that works for FedEx. He flies the wide body stuff, and I told him about you, and he was interested in chatting with you. Normally he comes down for the show, but he didn't come down tonight. I guess he's getting washed away out there.
Yeah, we're expecting 2 inches of rain here tomorrow.
Yeah, well, 5 here. You're getting 10. It's coming that way. We had some 70-mile-an-hour winds earlier this evening. I was a little worried that a lot of Memphis has lost power. The trees falling on all the lines and stuff. So I was a little worried that the internet might not have stayed up, but it seems to have stayed up the whole time.
Yeah, the video was great tonight.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I need feedback like that. The nice thing about that video is you can take that slider and slide it back if you miss something in the show and look at it, and then you can go back forward. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
Yeah, you didn't drop a single time. It was perfectly clear. The video was HD quality, and
well, good.
What Jeff was saying, I heard a little bit of that too. There was a little bit of noise at the end of some of the audio, but it was very copyable, and it was very
Yeah. I could
great
tell.
show. I really enjoyed it. I was listening to her on 75 meters there, but
Mhm.
I dare not try it from my mobile here because it doesn't do too well on 80 meters on mobile.
Oh, really? Let me see if she's still on. She may be off now. Let me turn it up and see. No, she's still on there. She's still talking, so she's making contact after contact here.
Yeah, I think with using the live stream with YouTube, it gives the end user, a lot more availability for switching bandwidths too. So if they don't have a great connection, they can watch you at a lower bit rate, and they won't get buffering.
So do you think, does Ustream allow a slower bit rate?
I don't know if Ustream does the native connection.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean Ustream don't. They flat tell you they don't downspeed it. They don't downspeed it at all. What about you? Do you know anything about YouTube? YouTube Live?
Yeah, YouTube offers all the way down to like 144. Stream.
That may be one of the things that improved it some tonight. Being able to have different speeds. Yeah,
I've had pretty good feedback using YouTube. I streamed some stuff from sweepstakes. I did some live streaming the sweepstakes a couple weeks ago on CW, and everybody seemed to think it worked pretty well.
Man, look at there. Jeffrey's got his camera working. Man, I'm so happy. Look at there.
He's just got to get his head in there.
Yeah, it's just his mic's not working now.
It's not the right camera.
There you go.
Hey, Jeff.
The camera that's supposed to work is over here.
Oh, okay.
But when I go up into here on, where are we at? When we go up, let it settle down. You go up into here and you click your camera. You're supposed, well, you're not going to be able to see it. But anyway, you're supposed to be able to click which camera. It won't let me change it. Very odd. So, anyway.
It lets me change mine.
Well, yeah, it let it change last week, but I'm running some new software. I've got something called Sparko Cam, which was allowing me to do the this guy here. So that's not. Wait, what am I putting at? Yeah, allowing me to do the flex radio right on. Like I can select the source and all that. And then I've also got, what's the other one called? Not ManyCam, Webcam XP.
Okay.
Which is allowing me to stream 3 or 4 cameras right to my QRZ page. So I got that all turned off right now. I thought I'd come back and just try this. But anyway.
Looks pretty good here.
Very good. Very good, Don.
So,
how you doing?
So, we've still got some viewers out there. Let's see. Don, you're out in eastern Tennessee. I forget the town. Starts with a
Cleveland.
C. Cleveland. Yeah, I need to start with a C. Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Let's see. Jeffrey's up in New Jersey.
I'm in New Jersey.
New Jersey. And oh, man, terrible mind. William is in Montana. Is it Butte?
No, Billings.
Oh, Billings. I knew it started with a B. Well, there's a Butte, Montana, isn't there?
Oh yeah, there's Butte. That's where the Copper King was.
Yeah. All right. Oh, hey, so Don, is it raining over there yet?
No, it's cloudy. There's broken clouds actually. I'm looking through my sunroof right now. It looks like it's mostly cloudy here now, and it's feeling very humid. So I imagine we'll have some rain before long.
I don't know if there's going to be any left or not. I hear it coming down out here pretty solid. It's what we call a frog choker here.
I'm going to look on my radar and see how close it is.
Yeah,
here.
let me see if I can find mine. Let's see how Faith Hannah's doing over here.
This is a pain in the neck.
Oh man, you think you got a pain in the neck here? Oh man.
They got the audio source coming from that camera too. Then.
Yeah, it is coming from this camera. Yes.
Well, let's see what the radar looks like here.
But it's backwards. I mean, look at my clock. Is it my clock coming to you?
No, that's right.
Oh, it's
your video is only switched to you, but it's
I didn't know
normal
that.
to everybody else. Yeah.
And now how would I?
You can fix it in one of the toolboxes. I forget where it's at. The Google Hangout toolbox or something stupid like
it's
that.
in the Hangout. It's in
All
the
right.
Hangout toolbox.
Let me.
All
I'm
right.
gonna.
Yeah, it's in an obscure setting. It's like
All right.
something about not like a mirrored setting or something. It's not what you think it is.
Okay.
All right,
cool.
guys.
I
Let's see.
appreciate
This is what we're looking at like right now. Let's see. Where are we?
Yeah, that's a nice front
We're the
assist
little
coming
blue
through, huh?
dot. We're the little blue dot right there in the center.
A little convection right there above you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Let's see.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see. Let me.
I'm actually went into the more settings here, and I've actually found some things that I was.
Yeah, there we go. Let's see.
Looks like the rain's almost to Jackson there, Tom.
Yeah, you know what? My blue screen is messing up the colors on here. Let me find a camera that don't have blue screen on it. Let me see. There we go. All right. Oh yeah. Oh, I just chipped on one of my cables here. Let's see. Let's see. Well.
Not quite focusing on it.
I can focus it, but I need two
working.
hands. I need to hit the focus button on here, but
So Tom, when you have somebody on Skype and stuff like that, are you using a headset or are you?
No, I'm not actually. I hadn't had the problem before. I have a little speaker over here turned down pretty low. I really don't think that's what's getting back into this because we've done 9 months of shows now, and typically that's not a problem.
Yeah. It also depends on their system too, because if they have a slower PC and it's having a time autocorrecting, because it really seemed delayed when you went to them, and your voice would like come back like just like a half a millisecond or half a second behind.
Yeah, well, I tell you, this program right here is really loaded. I really had it loaded down tonight with videos and pictures, and I was waiting for it to, just go dead on me at any given point. But it made it all the way through the show. In fact, it's still running. But yeah, we need to. I'm going to look for that and see what it is. But I really, just like when I first called James, we had no audio on Skype, so I hung up. I called him back, and then we had audio. I think it's just something in the full duplex. We're kind of operating full duplex here, both talking and listening at the same time, and if that stuff doesn't cancel out properly, you're going to kind of hear, you're going to hear garbage from one side to the other. But I'll play with it more and see what.
Hey Tom, I got an email today that my Expert Amp 1.3 will be on the next shipment from Italy.
Oh.
At the end of the year.
Yeah.
Ordered it before Dayton.
Oh wow.
That's a nice amp. Do you like? Did you compare that with like Alpha amps or anything, or?
Yeah, of course. And it's a little cheap. It's $5,000. The amp I'm using now is a PW1. This will put out a little bit more power, but I want to use it remote with the Flex. I believe that'll work better. There's really no controls for the PW1 to work remote easily, and it only weighs, if I want to travel with it, weighs like under 20 pounds.
So I was in a chat room too. You said it's a little cheaper than the Alpha amp.
Oh yeah, this one. Well, the 1.3 is like $5,000. The Alpha, of course, is a little bit more than that. But if the Alpha amp's got, it weighs 70 pounds or 60 pounds. This thing weighs, I think, 16 pounds.
Yeah, well, I guess the Alpha amp, they advertise it. They show the brick sitting on the key, and it's constant duty. A person doesn't need that,
Don't need it.
Yeah.
I guess that's all solid state, is it, Jeff?
Yes, it's all solid state.
Yeah, that's a big difference. So it only has a 50-volt power supply in it. So
yeah.
That cuts a lot of weight out.
Absolutely.
So, so what is a 1300 watt amp?
That's what they say. Yeah. I mean, people say they can put out 1.5. I would have to look at to see how sloppy it gets after 1.3. I don't know.
Yeah. So,
you don't want to cook your transistors.
Who else?
Yeah, you don't want to run those too hot because they get a little ugly on the high end.
I don't need to do that. The last time I was transmitting on my PW1, which was a 1,000 watt amplifier, I was putting out 900 watts. So that's not the reason why I bought it for the power. 1,000 watts, I think, is enough for me.
When I fire up my linear amplifier on 40 meters, my electric garage doors start going up and down. I'm not kidding.
No, we used to. Well, come on. You remember years ago, you would go down the street with your 2-meter rig. And all the garages would go up and down, and the car alarms would go off, and that's going back.
Let me tell you. At my other house, I could not run an amplifier at my other house, and a certain antenna. I had a certain antenna that went across the top of the house, and I had part of an alarm system receiver up in the top of the house, and boy, when I'd key that thing up, it set the fire alarm off every time.
Yeah,
I mean,
mine does that too sometimes.
Even if it's turned off, even if the alarm is turned off, you cannot turn the fire alarm off because it stays on all the time.
Right.
And I even had the fire department come out, man, one time. So I had I quit. First thing to fix it was I started using the antennas that were back behind the house, not one that was in close proximity. It was a little frightening, to tell you the truth. And then, of course, we moved here a couple years ago, and I've got an alarm system in here, but I was a little hesitant to, I was a little scared with my amp. I didn't want to set it off, so, I tried it on all bands and played with it and everything, and it seems pretty clean, or at least it's far enough away from any sensors that it doesn't cause any major problems.
So when they say your signal's on fire, Tom, they really mean it.
Yeah, mine was. Well, hey, guys, we've got Delta. Delta's in here. Delta, hello, Delta. And Delta is the owner of Digital Addiction. He's the chat room man here. The chat room came from Delta there. So you guys say hello to Delta. I saw Delta made a comment, $5,000. What was $5,000? Was that amp you're talking about?
The 1.3.
Oh, hey, doesn't MFJ make a 1.3 amp?
Oh, MFJ, yeah, theirs is only $200.
How much? 200.
Yeah, that's the one they made.
The 1.3 kilowatt, $200.
No, it's like just 2,400 or something like that.
Yeah. Well,
But I think you got to buy the power supply separate, right? The power supply is a separate deal.
That's $4,800.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Well, we've got a guy. We've got Dan on here. N9LVS usually pops in and out of the show here. He runs that 1,300 watt radio in his car.
Wow.
I've got 500.
I gotta do that.
I've got 500 in my vehicle.
And what he did now, he's just changed cars. He got a new Jeep, but before he had an aircraft generator. It was a 24 volt generator with two windings. I think he paralleled them to come out 12 volts, and that's what he had on there to help power this thing.
I'd be afraid it would run my computer in the car or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me tell you. I'm afraid every time to even put a new radio in a car, because I can just see me sitting behind the steering wheel and key it, and the airbag, kills me. I'm really scared about airbags coming out, man, with these with radios.
You know what, Tom, you're not too far off. I have a 2014 Lexus SUV, and I put in a battery in the back. I run 500 watts HF. And I tried to work HF D-Star, only with 100 watts. And as soon as I keyed up, the car slowed down. I was in my neighborhood driving around slowly.
Yeah.
It's the only time that I've keyed up a radio that has affected the car, when I was working digital mode on HF. And it was not a good idea. I won't do it again. And I can't imagine if I had 500 watts. You're right. I might have blown the airbags in my face. I hope not, but
That would be scary.
is that a pop-up behind you?
Yeah, I'm in my garage. This is where I store my pop-up and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, I got to get a screen or something back here to make it look like I'm actually in a room.
Yeah, go get online, buy a green screen cloth, and then get a program.
Yeah, hang here, put a curtain rod behind me.
Curtain rod, and you got some good stuff. Tom, tell them about it. Get that green screen going, or a blue screen.
I don't use a green screen here.
What do you use? Blue?
No, everything's real here, man. I don't use a green screen. There's what I use right there, man.
Okay, I see a blue screen right now.
Yeah. The only problem I've got blue eyes, and you can see right through me, man. I don't know whether I don't know whether to put a green back up or not. The blue worked out really well for us. I think the blue worked better than the green.
Whatever works.
Yeah. And of course I've got blue on the tablecloth here. And by putting it on the table, then it gives you this thing. See, hey, you like that, man? Looks like I'm right on the dit. You like it?
That's really cool.
Look at that, man.
So that's how you do it. Blue on the table.
Yeah, it's just blue. Yeah. If I go to, let me see. Well, you can see it there. There's my table. Yeah. Let's see. Let me do this. Let me edit your shot a little bit.
I'm getting sick to my stomach.
And what software do you use, Tom?
This is called Wirecast. It's by Telestream.
Wirecast, okay.
Yeah. So I think it's neat the way I can lay a cloth on this table and turn this table into.
Hey, James is in here. James is back.
Yeah. He was.
Unmuted mic.
Well, there he is. There. Okay. I knew he was thinking about coming over. Hey, James, how you doing?
Good. We're trying to get the kids to bed, but they're still awake.
Oh man. Well,
great show tonight.
This is when we start partying down right now. So about this time, So
your kids had a great night tonight. That was a wonderful show.
Oh, let me
they did a great job.
Let me change the camera. There we go.
Hey, James is in here. James is back.
Yeah. He was here. Okay. I knew he was thinking about coming over. Hey, James, how you doing?
Hey, good.
James.
Turn off okay. Audio feed, James.
Well, hey,
great show tonight.
This is James. If you can hear me, turn the audio down on the webcast. The webcast audio needs to be turned down.
The webcast. It was a wonderful show.
Oh, let me
they did a great job. Somehow I'm hearing things about 20 seconds late.
Yeah. Okay.
Turn off the webcast.
Let me fix this. All right. So. Okay, I just muted James. James, what's happening is you got audio coming out Hangout, and you also have audio coming out the webcast, and the webcast is 30 seconds delayed. So if you go to the webcast video, there's a little speaker at the bottom left of the webcast video. You can mute it or turn it down.
We got it now.
There you go. Okay, perfect. Hey, look at there. Hey, look at all of them. We got everybody there. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm just the guy who runs the camera. I'm not the audio guy.
Yeah, look at it. We got the whole group there, And
wow.
And hey guys, the webcast is still going. There's people around the world watching this right now, So
yeah, so the webcast is still going. So stop.
Yeah, the webcast is still on. So yeah, you got you got to watch these kind of things, and all that stuff. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, so
I made a contact with you tonight.
Oh, and I made a contact with her tonight.
I could hear you on 75 meters, but I'm in my mobile rig, so I really didn't try. So
running 500 watts mobile, you should have been able to hit her.
Well, I was only running 100, so.
Yeah, I think that's Jeffrey that runs the 500 in the start.
I wasn't in the mobile. I know. I spoke with you. I'm in my shack. I had about 900 watts.
Oh, okay.
Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
In New Jersey. Yeah, if I talked to somebody in New Jersey, I heard somebody.
That was me.
Yeah, hey, when I first got on, I thought, oh, this is going to be a mess. I mean, there was people calling her right and left me, and I thought, she was on my show, and I'm not even going to get to talk to her.
You know, way down in we could hear people way down in the mud.
Yeah.
But every other band is totally dead. 75 meters, you could hear something, but it was a lot of static. It's just not a very nice night on the bands right now.
Uh-huh.
Well, you did a good job. I heard quite a few contacts.
Yeah, I did too.
You know, she got, what, about 9 or 10.
Very good.
Well, I like it. I think I heard her pretty clearly. I thought she said I was 80 over S9, so that was a great signal for her.
You can say it. You don't think so.
You don't think I was quite that strong?
Which
75 KUB.
Oh, that.
I wasn't 80 over.
No, I don't think so.
You always tell the truth.
Above the noise floor, I think, Tom.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah.
You were just a normal 5'9".
Just a 5'9".
There's nothing normal about Tom, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no pluses for you, Tom.
Well, if my antenna wasn't 5 inches underwater out there, it'd probably work better. You know?
Yeah, you guys, you're getting hammered out there. I looked at that radar, and those lines of storms are just running northeast, and it's going to be some serious flooding from that.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to get like 5 inches or something, and 70-mile-an-hour gust and winds. But a lot of Memphis is without power already tonight. So I was a little afraid the show might get interrupted if we lost our internet. But I mean, I'm on UPS power, but there's nothing I can do about the internet if it went down. But
you know, I realized halfway through the show I had plugged my iPhone into the computer.
Yeah.
And I was streaming over the Verizon 4G, so I probably used up my quota for the month.
Oh, yeah. So you used that for the Skype connection tonight?
I didn't do it intentionally.
But is that the connection we used?
For about three quarters of the show until
wow.
we got into a video, and I switched over to the Wi-Fi. The Macs have problems. When you open up a MacBook Pro, 3 or 4 times out of 10, it won't connect to your Wi-Fi network properly.
Oh,
hey, James, question. I see you have 4 children. I are only 3 hymns?
Did you watch the show?
Yeah. What happened to you?
I must have. I did walk down to the kitchen one time. Are they all 4 hymns?
Grace is back here in back, and she is wearing a T-shirt from Gitmo because we had a friend that.
She's the satellite girl, right?
Grace is the one who is studying still. Her call sign.
She's still studying. Okay.
Her call sign is Kilo Mike 4
question mark. Got it. Okay. I apologize, but sorry, Grace.
Well, I guess you know. I guess you know, Jeffrey, that because of that, you get 4 more demerits tonight because you're supposed to watch the show from start to end and pay attention. So I'm gonna put you down for 4 demerits tonight. And
I bet it won't be long before Grace gets her ticket.
That's right.
Faith Anna asks, "What are demerits, Tom?"
Demerits? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'll let Jeffrey explain that. Jeffrey, if you can't explain it, you get 2 more demerits.
Well, he just means that I made some mistakes, and it just I get some embarrassment points.
Okay, here it is. Okay, he gets a mark. I'm going to put 4 marks down, and let's say when he gets 10 marks, that's bad. He's in trouble with me when he gets 10 marks.
They're embarrassment marks for not knowing the answer.
Yeah.
How's that?
Hey, I didn't know the answer to that. Let's see, what was it? I think it's Faith Tanner had to correct me. I didn't know the answer to where Kaliningrad was, man.
How to get out your atlas.
Kaliningrad or Kaliningrad, I think it's a really small city-state in the former Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right above Poland and I don't know. It's it's kind of to the upper right of Poland.
Yeah. Yeah, most all those up in that area are some kind of grads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom.
Uh-huh.
Tom, James, and everyone else that's in here. It's past my bedtime.
Oh, it's not. It's only 11:30 there.
Yeah, I got to go to work in the morning. How you guys got to go to school in the morning? Because I got to get up early.
Well, I retired 2 years ago, so I stay up late now.
Guess what? Life goes on, and I got to go to bed. So 7-3, guys.
We're obviously not starting school in the morning.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, you know, hey, tomorrow can be like a snow day down in Florida. You know, you're not going to get any snow days down here, I don't think. But you know.
Well, I can guarantee this: if we do get a snow day, they will find a way to blame it on global warming and coal.
Yeah. Well, I need to get Dr. Bob back on here again. You know, I don't know. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't really. I don't know that global warming is as big as what everybody says it is. I'm not sure. I know the Earth heats up and cools down every 1,000 years, and I don't think there's anything we can do about it, to tell you the truth. So.
Well, watch in about a year to a year and a half, once we get the funding, we've got a movie we're producing about global warming, and where the money is going. It's all about making people rich. Al Gore's becoming a billionaire from it. And the UN is getting rich, and it's about taking money from the rich and giving it to you.
Yeah, you're right about that. It's okay if people have their opinions, but they can't have their own facts. Who said that? Somebody said that, man. I kind of think.
You know what I think is more important than the global warming is how do we get Bob Heil to see this so we can see if we can get Faitana a headset.
She had that headset on during
Heck,
day.
I'll if I can get if I can get my editing software to work, I will edit that 30 seconds and I'll send it to Bob.
I'd say that's as good as done.
And she wants blue.
Bob is a big supporter of us. We got a lot of microphones from him. He gives us a lot of prizes to give out on our webcast, and Bob's a great supporter, and I know he is of youth. And I'll send Bob a note.
Bob likes kids, I know that.
Yeah.
But it's funny at field day. I didn't say this on the air, but there was a young ham who was there and bothering Faith Hannah as she's.
What was that?
My camera dropped.
And Faith Hannah
look, I'm upset.
Pretty hard there for interrupting her while she's trying to get on the air.
Say that. I'm sorry. I didn't hear that. Say that again.
Well, during field day, there was a young ham, a boy who was 17 or 18, who kept bothering her while she was trying to make contacts and get points for the club.
Oh, okay.
And Faith Hannah, did you punch him or what did you do?
I'm gonna get my hat.
No, she hit him with her hat.
She hit him with her hat. Told him to shut up.
Yeah. Well,
that won't be the last time you do.
That won't be exactly.
Well, look, hey, someday somebody's going to bully you, and they're gonna come up and they're gonna say they know karate and judo, okay? But don't let that bother you. If they say they know karate and judo, all you got to do is say I know tire tool.
Tire tool.
Now she may not know what that means either. I don't know.
She has been trained how to use a knife by a Marine Corps guy.
Yeah.
And a Navy SEAL has taught her how to shoot. So she's
okay.
There you go.
Cool. I see somebody in the chat room, KC3AZI. All this time I thought Tom was rich. I don't know where he got that idea. We must have been talking about a lot of money. Jeffrey's the guy that's rich with all. Look at that, man. There's a flex right there. That's a flex 50,000 he's got, and then he's got a.
He's either very rich or very poor now.
Yeah,
exactly. How's that?
He's got three $5,000 amps stacked up back there.
Okay.
I just want to see what happens to the Christmas lights when you go down the road talking with 500 watts output mobile.
Actually, not much.
Oh, I wanted to make a flag. And maybe stay just still if they are ready for it.
When I was overseas in Korea back last century, I was HL9 KT. and I had a vertical antenna up on top of my barracks, and I taped a 12-foot aluminum one of these 12-volt aluminum lights to the antenna. And when I talk, it would light up out there, man. That was cool.
Well, you can try that. That works.
Yeah.
I saw something on the internet. There's a Oriental girl who's a ham who she took a light bulb and basically made an antenna connected to it, and then keyed up her 2-meter handheld, made the light bulb light up. That was a cool little experiment that I'm going to try to do.
Yeah.
We used to use that for dummy load.
Yeah, I was going to say
an incandescent bulb.
Yeah, years ago, I don't know. It looks like Don probably goes back at least 80 years. I only go back 51. But hey, yeah,
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, we used a 100-watt light bulb for a dummy load, and we would tune that bulb up for maximum brightness and switch that antenna on, and that's how we tuned our radios up back in.
Peak the grid and dip the plate.
I remember those.
Because because back then, man, I mean, and I was novices then. I mean, and that was like in the '60s. We didn't have SWR meters. No, I mean, you had to be rich, like a guy saying over here. I think they have a SWR meter. We didn't have SWR meters or anything. Hey, my coax I used was probably World War I surplus, and I can remember water coming out the end of it like it was a plastic tube. When it would rain, water would come out at the end of the coax there in the house, in the shack, So
really? That was before you learned about drip loops, right?
Yeah, or weatherproofing it up there. But I never cared. I worked. I talked to people. Again, no SWR meter. We use a light bulb. You just put the antenna up. You cut it what the book says, and that's how I used to do it.
You could really abuse a 6146 too. You can't do that with these new radios.
Yeah, the radios had 6146s, and like Don says, you dip it and put the load to it, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. Hey, we didn't have transceivers back then. You had a separate receiver and a separate transmitter, and
Look at one right now. We have an HW16 and a VFO for it.
Yeah.
Build.
Got a zero beat the other guy's frequency.
Yep.
Yeah. Or if you're like us, the novices, we had one crystal and somebody else had one. We were never on the same frequency, but we'd still talk to each other.
Yeah.
You'd call CQ and you'd tune the band, and you'd hear somebody call you back because he only had one crystal. He didn't
working split was no oddity.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think it was crystal controlled when I got my my novice license, but I did have some crystals for 80 meters that some guy worked at the phone company gave them to me.
Uh-huh.
Well, guys, I really have to go to bed. Have a good night.
Okay, good night. We'll see you next week. Hey, you be on the show next week, and watch, and I'll take the demerits off next week.
All right, I appreciate that. I'll work them off.
All right.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Jeff.
Night.
All right.
We're gonna say good night, guys. It's time to get the kids to bed, and we've got a big day tomorrow.
Okay.